Hey guys, so today I'm bringing you another advice video. I made one already giving you guys advice slash tips on whether you're starting high school. So this video will be exactly the same, but for those of you starting college. The advice slash tips that I give you guys, it's going to be super general, meaning that it can apply to everyone. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started. And again, by the end of the video, if you guys still have questions or concerns that I did not talk about, then feel free to leave them down below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. So I hope that you guys enjoy. Alright, so some of the tips that I talk about in this video are the same as the tips that I talked about in my other video because, they're school related, so yeah. So let's just get started. So number one, again, this is the same number one as in my last video, and that is be yourself. And again, like I said in my last video, not only is that important whether you're starting school or starting at a new school, but that's just important in life, throughout your life. So it's very important to be yourself. Starting college, it's going to be way different than high school. Super different. So, it's going to be a really different experience. So through it all, I just recommend to be yourself, stay true to who you are. In my other video, I did say that, starting high school, you're finding yourself, you're not sure who you are as a person, but starting college, I feel like you might not know yourself completely still, which is okay, it's completely fine, but you'll know yourself a little more than you did when you started high school. And definitely, your whole high school experience, I'm sure, will have taught you a little bit more about yourself. So just be yourself, stay true to who you are, and yeah, that will get you a long way, definitely in life, in school, in everything that you do. So stay true to who you are, and yeah. So number two is, okay, well, this is based off of my personal experience. So I remember my first day of college. I walked into the classroom and I was literally like sitting next to adults. Like I had adults all around me. I was sitting next to other people who could be like my parents' age, honestly, and it was just really weird because I was not used to that at all, especially like compared to high school. You're around people who are around your age or your age exactly. So just walking into that class and seeing adults sitting down in that class with me, it was just really weird and just kind of like an eye-opener, like, wow, like I'm actually in college now. So it's just really different. Like I said, it's a whole different like swimming pool type of thing. So yeah, my point number two is just to not get freaked out or nervous when you see people not your age in your same class. So this definitely could apply to me as well. When I first started, I definitely was freaked out, like, this is so weird, why are like there adults in my class? It's just super weird. And yeah, so just don't get freaked out about it. You definitely will get used to it, just seeing, adults and older people in your class and just people of all ages. So just don't get freaked out by it. You'll get used to it. But I'm just giving this tip to you guys because personally, I was kind of freaked out by it in the first place when I first started. So yeah, don't get freaked out by it or get nervous. It might make you a little bit nervous. It might be a little bit intimidating, but not at all, because they're there just for the same reason that you are. So just keep that in mind, and yeah, just don't worry about it. So number three is use your resources, such as library, tutoring, staff. If you ever need help with anything, and this kind of relates to a point in my other video, but that's besides the point. Yeah, if you ever need help with anything, homework, schoolwork, whatever the case may be, definitely use your resources. I'm currently going to a community college, so the tutoring there is free. I don't know how it is at different schools or different universities, but I have the opportunity to get free tutoring, which is amazing. Also, the library, it can be used anytime. So depending on where you are, just use all of your resources to the best that you can if you need it. So whether that's finding, a professor that you can go to, and also if you ever need to speak to a professor, definitely that's what they're there for. Don't be afraid to schedule a meeting with them if you need to talk about your grades. Like, the professors are there to help you. So yeah, don't be afraid to talk to them. Don't be afraid to speak to them after class or before class. Don't be afraid to schedule a meeting with them in their office if you want to go over your grades and how you are doing in their class. Don't be afraid to do that. So just use your resources, depending on what resources you have at your school and anything like that, because it definitely will help. And again, school, you want to succeed and be successful as possible. So number 4, this is the same point that I had in my other video. It is to get involved. Getting involved, it will help you find friends, like I said in my other video. Not only to find friends, but also the more you get involved, that's definitely something you can put on your resume. Depending on what school you go to, you might have sports there at your school. Get involved in a sport, a club, a team, because it definitely will look good on a resume and just with future job opportunities. So definitely get involved in anything that you have an interest in, or even if you want to try something new, definitely get involved. So not only is that important for finding friends, but definitely it'll be very beneficial just to help you grow as a person as well, and just to like learn new skills and just habits that you might not have had before. So get involved as much as you can, and it definitely will look good in the future on your resume and things like that. So that's important as well. So number 5. This definitely is advice to me as well. Well, it was advice to me. If you don't know what you want to do, start looking and searching. I'm just now finding out what I want to do, my major. And I said I'm starting my 3rd year of college, which is crazy. You'll hear sometimes, like, if you're in high school, or when you were in high school, I should say, you'll hear a lot of people saying, you don't have to worry about it right now, or you don't have to figure it out right now, which is something that I heard a lot. But as soon as you start college, even if you don't know still, that's definitely okay. It's only your 1st year, but I would recommend to start looking and searching, because the longer you take to figure out what you want to do, then the longer it's going to take for you to move on in school. So like, I should have been transferring to a different college this fall, but because I'm just now figuring out what I want to do, I have to take more classes before I can transfer, which is unfortunate, but I mean, I'm not stressing about it. I definitely think that everything happens for a reason, so I'm not stressed out about it really. But yeah, just if you don't know what you want to do, that's definitely okay starting college, but I just say to just start looking and searching now, because you don't want to end up being in school longer than you have to be because you're not sure what you want to do. So definitely that's something that you should start doing as soon as you start college, even, when you finish high school or whatever the case may be. So number 6, if you ever need help, just speak up. Like in class, there may be times where you have a question, but you don't want everyone's eyes on you, or you might think that you have a stupid question and you don't want to ask it because you don't want to be like, okay, that's a stupid question, everyone's gonna make fun of me. Like, if you have a question, speak up, because I can guarantee that probably about half of the class, if not a little less than half of the class, have the same question as you. I'm telling you. So don't be afraid to speak up, because you're not only speaking up for yourself, but you're also speaking up for the other people who are scared to raise their hand. So if you ever have a question, speak up, raise your hand, don't be afraid. If you ever need help, ask the professor, they're there to help you. So I'm not going to get into detail with this one because it's the same as number 3. So speak up. Number 7 is do not make females and males your priority. Again, talked about this in my other video. College, like I said, it's going to be a completely different swimming pool. There's going to be people there of all ages. It's going to be a lot different than what you're used to in high school and middle school. But just don't make females or males your priority. That's not what you're going to school for. That part of life definitely will fall into place at the right time. Everything happens at the right time, so just don't worry about that. Don't let that be your focus, because you don't want that to be the reason why you have to take a class again or you have to stay in school longer. So just don't let that be your priority, because everyone's there for the same reason you are, and that's just to focus and work hard and get their education. So number 8, it ties into number 5, and that is that if you don't know what you want to do, then try different job opportunities. So like, let's say you don't know what you want to do, but you have some things in mind, then try to find like internships, try to find jobs that you can maybe call up and ask if you can come in and see what it's like for a day. Just really, again, like, use all of your resources. If you don't know what you want to do and you're stuck between two things, do some research. Look both of them up and like call them and see if you can come in one day to just see what it's like, because I mean, a lot of companies probably do that. I'm not sure, but I don't see why they wouldn't. So definitely just explore your job opportunities, and whatever is on your list or whatever your options are, then definitely kind of narrow them down by trying to get hands-on experience with them. Number 9, this is definitely important, is to try to make at least 2 friends in your classes. So for example, if you ever don't go to school one day, or decide that you don't feel like going to class, then I recommend getting at least 2 friends, get their phone number, make friends with 2 people in your class, so that you can text them or email them or whatever, so that you can get the makeup work or ask them what you missed. Also, I do recommend doing that with the professor, but sometimes professors don't reply back. Like, I remember in the past I had a professor that did not reply to emails, not only to me but just in general. Like, he wasn't an emailer type of professor. So definitely get at least 2, just in case one doesn't show up the same day you don't show up. You'll have another phone number from somebody else. Hopefully they show up that day. But yeah, I recommend getting at least 2 phone numbers, and not just getting 2 phone numbers, but making friends with them. Because I mean, let's say, for example, that class, you have to partner up with someone one day. I mean, you want to partner up with someone that you will talk to and work well with. So definitely not only get 2 numbers from people, but also make friends with them, because that definitely will help you throughout the school year for whatever reason. I have 2 more, by the way. This video, it's not going to be as long as my other one, because I'm kind of repeating myself, and yeah. So number 10 is to stay on top of your homework, your assignments, and your grades. So like I said, school, regardless of whether it's middle school, high school, elementary, college, it's your priority. So you always want to make sure that you stay on top of your grades, your assignments, and your homework. You don't want to ever let anything else distract you. You don't want anything else to be your priority or get in your way of your schoolwork, because that comes first. And definitely, I'm talking to myself, because I'm not going to sit here and say that I am, always putting school first, because I don't. It's the truth. But anyways, yeah, just always try your hardest. That's all you can do, is just try. Put your schoolwork first. Again, if you ever need help, don't be afraid to ask. Number 11 is choose your classes wisely. So I don't know how it works in different areas, but I know with my school, there's this website called ratemyprofessor.com. And when you're choosing your classes, you can type in a specific professor's name on ratemyprofessor.com, and comments and reviews will come up based on other students' reviews on them, if that makes sense. So you can kind of see if you want to choose that class and professor or not. So I always use Rate My Professor when I'm choosing my classes, because it definitely has helped me a lot. There's been times where I've chosen classes and then I'll go and Rate My Professor, and there'll be a whole bunch of like negative comments about that professor, and I will like change it so quick. So definitely choose your classes wisely. If wherever you are, Rate My Professor doesn't really exist, then use your resources again, ask around, ask people at the school, ask staff, maybe, Google or go on your school website to see if you can get any information on that professor. And definitely, so just choose classes wisely, whether it's rate my professor or, word of mouth from somebody else. And last but not least, I didn't write this down, but it just kind of came to my head because this is definitely something that's super, super important when starting college, and that is giving into peer pressure. Don't give into peer pressure is my point. Again, this is a whole new swimming pool compared to high school. So there will be times where you'll want to do certain things, or, certain people are doing this and you want to do it too, even though you know it's not right. So just don't give in to peer pressure. College, definitely, I mean, that's when people are partying a lot, experiencing, trying out drugs, doing all of that stuff. And just don't really try to fall for that stuff. Again, keep your head on your shoulders. Make sure that you put school first, and I mean, that should get you pretty far. Peer pressure, I mean, it's a part of your everyday life. So I feel like with starting college, or by the time you get to college, you'll know yourself more. So peer pressure might not be as hard as it was in high school, but I could be wrong. I'm speaking only for myself as like an opinion, but definitely try not to give in to peer pressure, because you don't want your college years to spiral and just to be out of whack because you did something you shouldn't have done. So that was it. So I just want to say that. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. And I know this was pretty fast and I kind of went through everything pretty quickly, but that's kind of because I repeated myself a lot from my other video. But yeah, again, if you guys have any more questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. And if you are starting college this year or this fall or whenever, or if you're starting tomorrow, or I don't know, if you're starting college or even high school, again, guys, good luck. And just remember these tips that I gave you guys. And if you guys do definitely take these tips with you, then you should do good in school. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!